guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. That's from a guy. He is 32 years old, married for 10 years, father of 2 kids, and he shares his story how he is now kicking his wife to the curb after catching her in a very awkward position, if you will. And you're going to see in this story, guys, how he really thought he had a good marriage going and she's a great mom, blah, blah, blah. But then her behavior started to change. His gut was telling him something was wrong. And so he listened to his gut, and sure enough, it was accurate. Now, if you're going to go over here, guys, as a reminder of paying attention to red flags. If you're married, have a girlfriend, or deal with anybody that you know pretty well, and their behavior suddenly changes, look into it. Do your homework. Because unfortunately, usually what your negative gut feeling is telling you is probably right. In this one right here, this guy finds this out, and thank God he does. It's just unfortunate. What happens, happens. And by the way, guys, you can see I'm filming this in a different location today in the garage. Why? Because the rainy season has begun in South Florida. Praise the Lord. However, it's raining now all the fucking time, and I can't do this with the pouring rain on me. I can watch from out here. So it starts off, says here, he has to say, I've been watching your YouTube channel for a couple weeks now, and all I can say is I can relate to a lot of the videos you post and narrate. Well, I'm glad you found me, bro, and I'm glad you can relate, but I'm also sorry you can relate given, you know, how this story goes. I'm a 32-year-old Latina male. I don't want to say my name. And me and my wife, a 30-year-old Latina, well, now ex-wife, we're together for 13 years and married for the last 10. We have 2 kids together, 12 and 6 years old. Hang on. You're 32 and she's 30 and you've been married for 10 years. So you were 22 when you got married. She was 20. Now, I know doing the math here, you have a 12-year-old son, which means around the time you started dating, she got pregnant and you got married. And I guess up until this point, to your knowledge, you thought it worked. Guys, don't get married super young. You all know this. I know you're probably trying to be a good husband and father, but still. So for the last year, I noticed our wife had become a bit more distant and less attracted to me. That's what they all say, guys. Let me guess, she's also checking her phone all the time. We went from having SCX once or twice a week to maybe once a month, if that. That's a big change. She's 30 years old. Trust me, she's as horny as ever. I consider myself to be in pretty good shape as I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. So I was confused as to why she wouldn't want to be more sexually active with me. Well, usually if she ain't getting it from the husband or boyfriend, she's getting it some other place. Plus, she said acting distant and all these other things. Yes, I get it. We both work, we're both tired, etc. But something about it was a bit suspicious. Now, she seemed to be working more and more after work, going to overtime and having more Zoom meetings from her job. Basically, she was staying later and later and longer at her job. So with her claims to overtime, was she having bigger paychecks? That's something to pay attention to, guys. The suddenly working late, working more if they're hourly wages, things like that. Yeah, these things don't add up, man. So I started to suspect that maybe she was seeing someone else. But that was out of her character. She was a good mom, and for the past years, she was a great wife. But something was off. Maybe initially she was a great wife, but something changed along the way. And I'm sure she's probably willing to point the fingers at you. Yeah, married and kids and all. I don't know what that's like, but a lot of people do, and it's tough. Doesn't give her an excuse for what she's pulling here. When she would stay late at her job, I would call her, and it would take like an hour later for her to return my call or even text me back. Guys, it does not take long to respond to a text, okay? And okay, maybe she was in a meeting or something like that, but even still, if it's later hours, late night, everybody understand, just making sure husband at home is just concerned that she's okay driving home or something like that. So one evening, when she said she was going to work late at her job, office job, I decided to take a drive over there with our 2 kids and see if she was really there working overtime like she said she was. I took the 30-minute drive. It took a 30-minute drive, but when I arrived, there were no cars parked outside her job, and the office she worked at seemed to be closed for the day. So your gut feeling was accurate. How long has she been doing this crap, you know? I texted her immediately and asked her, how was work going? And she texted me back saying, hey babe, super busy. And she was lying, she was not at work. I'm sorry, bro. And you know what, guys? I bet every instinct of him wanted to like tear a new one right there. And nobody would blame him. But our guy here keeps cool. When she finally got home, she said she was super tired and she was going to go take a shower and go to sleep. I didn't mention anything to her that night. Holy crap, man, you got some self-control. But our guy here had a better plan, because if you mentioned that night, she would have had her cover story and probably would have gaslighted you and said that, you don't trust me and blah, 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 and made you have to be the villain here. You kept your cool so you can gather your evidence. And by the way, guys, you guys like to learn things that can help you in your relationships or your life. Typically when a woman is cheating and she comes home and races right to the shower, there's a reason. She's washing the smell and the scent of that dude off her. Amongst other things, God forbid, that I don't want to mention here. So I wanted to know where she was that time and that night, and I did some research online and found a GPS tracker. After reading many reviews on Google and YouTube, I decided to purchase it. The subscription for the month was only $25 and the device was $80. So, for $105, that will be the best money ever spent to, well, do what this guy does. 5 days later, after it finally came in the mail, I charged it, and it was very simple to activate. It had a magnet, so that way I could install it anywhere under her car. Man, this is some spy tech here. I know this isn't heavy tech, guys, but to me, in my mid-40s, this is like spy tech. Right here, you can always learn something. Okay, you can get this GPS thing in the mail, get the subscription, put the thing anywhere under a car, a teeny tiny little thing. Hey, awesome. So the next morning before she went to work, I did. The whole day I was very anxious. Around 4 p.m. she texted me that she had to work late again and that I needed to get the kids from school and daycare. I checked the GPS tracker on the app on the phone and it was showing that she was at work until 6:30 p.m. Again, how this guy keeps his cool is amazing. I saw that she was driving to what seemed like a parking lot and a shopping center. I decided to get our 2 kids in the car and take a drive to see where she was going. After driving for 20 minutes, the GPS took me into this empty shopping area that was closed down for a while now. Her car was parked in the middle of the parking lot. I thought it was weird. I parked around about 5 minutes walking distance and told my oldest kid to wait in the car. So yeah, your 12-year-old and 6-year-old, your boy, watch your sister. This whole thing's got to be so gut-wrenching to him. You know, I mean, obviously his gut's telling him, in the back of his mind, he knows what's going on, but until he actually can see it, this poor bastard here. As I approached her car, I could hear loud moaning amongst other things. I don't think she's singing. I don't think she's doing that. My heart sunk to the floor as I could see and hear what was happening. She was having sex with another man. There you go. That, again, the best $105 you ever spent. I'm sorry, bro. 10 years of fucking marriage to her, 2 kids, 13 years together, this is what he gets. Now get this. I could see that the guy was on top of her on the back seat of her SUV. As she was saying many things that I know you cannot say here on YouTube. Bro, throw me a bone here. You could at least tell me and I would speak in code. They were having, wait for it, gentlemen, backdoor sex. Backdoor sex, something that she had always denied me. Now she was having it with someone else in her car. So she's having backdoor sex in the back of the car. It is such a stereotype that these guys are married to their wives or girlfriends and they find out they're having affairs, and to add insult to injury, they're doing all these things with the lover that they wouldn't be caught dead doing with the husband. Isn't that amazing? Now maybe this is a way she can't get pregnant, who the hell knows, but regardless. I stood there for another 20 seconds and finally I decided to knock on the passenger window, and they both looked back and the look on her face was just terrible. Please tell me you were recording this. I could see everything, from backdoor action to even being unprotected. Oh my God. She pulled her panties up and screamed at me, asking why was I there? Why am I here? Bitch, why are you there? Are you kidding me? You're freaking out at me? The man she was with stepped out of the SUV. A tall, black, older man. He looked at me but didn't say anything. Oh, motherfucker, we're going to have some talking. I looked at her and shook my head and went back to my car and drove away. 10 minutes later, she called me, left me about 10 voice messages. I texted her and told her, do not come home. I even called her mom and told her what had just happened. Yes, control the narrative. Guys, as humiliating as it may be, you gotta I'm talking immediately. And that's what this guy does. Control the narrative. Tell everybody what's going on before false things can be spread. She says she's, wait for it, so sorry, and that she really does love me, and it was just a mistake. Oh yeah, I can really tell by your actions getting plowed in the back seat of the SUV without any protection, and been doing this for a long time, just how much you care. And it was a mistake. Yeah, forgetting to pay the phone bill is a mistake. Not months and months and months of lying, deceiving, cheating, unprotected cheating, all that. Also, doing things, you wouldn't have me do. Yeah, that's not a mistake. He says, I'm working on getting divorce papers going ASAP. I even got an attorney. I got tested for an STI 2 weeks ago, and I have 2 infections. Again, insult to injury here. Please tell me you live in an at-fault divorce state. Please tell me that this can be used to get the best deal you can in the divorce process. It would be terrible this guy is in a no-fault state, and it doesn't matter that she gave him the 2 infections amongst every other thing going on here. I do miss her and feel bad for my kids, but I know I value myself as a man. I should not forgive her. Also, I sent you a picture where I caught them having back direction, unprotected back direction. He actually sent me the picture. I'm not going to show you the Google Maps and a snapshot right there where this parking lot is. So I can avoid that place and know where things are going on there. But anyhow, all jokes aside, I'm really sorry that happened to you, bro. And the best thing I can say is, you got a lawyer? Good. Listen to your attorney. Whatever he or she says to you, the advice they give, listen to them. You obviously are really darn good at keeping your emotions under control here for all those days when you knew something was going on and blah, blah, blah. So you got to keep that going. Stay strong for your kids, okay? And the thing is this, you're 32. You're young because, of course, you're younger than me, so therefore you're young. You got your whole life ahead of you. Stick to people that care about you, that love you, your friends, your family, and all that. Do not take her back. I know you say you'll never forgive her again. I would never forget ever again. I would never take her back ever again. No matter how much crying and begging, and I'm so sorry she does, don't take her back. And in time, maybe you forgive, not for her, but for you, so you don't walk around with anger in your heart. And I hope you can get the best possible deal in the divorce as possible. But you've been with her for 10 years, and you got 2 little kids. And it would just be terrible if you were in a no-fault divorce state and she made out like a bandit regardless of her ruining this whole thing. And do not let her try. Honestly, I wouldn't even have anything to do with her beyond what you have to do with regards to the kids, the scheduling, and all that. Have her attorney talk through your attorney. Any communication you had to do, I would probably do it that it can be email or text. That way you have proof of this. I wouldn't talk to her in person. And she's going to probably use everything she can to manipulate you, taking her back. Don't do it. She'll probably get her friends to probably try to shame you in some way. Don't fall for it. And stay strong for your kids. Let those kids know that you love them no matter what. Your dad is here for you. It's not their fault. Make sure they know that. And take it one day at a time. And you said you're in shape. Keep going to the gym. Do not fall into the trap of drowning yourself in alcohol or drugs or junk food or garbage. Stay active, stay healthy, and take it one day at a time. And you're going to be okay. And I salute you for your strength and your ingenuity by getting the GPS thing and tracking her down and all that. I don't know if you record it. Probably recording her would have been a good idea to have that on file. But regardless, you saw it. She knows it. And that's that. So guys, there you go about trusting your gut. You always have to pay attention to your gut, even if you're with somebody for 10 years. He's been married 10 years, known her for 13, and look what happens. And Lord knows how long this has been going on with that particular dude for her abandoned parking lot backdoor action, as well as any other thing happening years in the past. I'm sorry to bring that up, but one has to question that. But a very important lesson about trusting your gut, guys. Always do it, even if it seems crazy. You just never know. Alright guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.